Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Dragon's Lair. My name is Wade, and this is my show, Let's Talk, where I talk about Warhammer. We're obviously talking about Necrons because the brand new codex just came out for the rest of us normies. Um, so, talking about Locust Lords. Um, I like the Locust Lord. I always have. I made mine with a conversion of a heavy destroyer. Let's talk about what I like about the Locust Lord. Movement 8 is pretty good. Also, notice down in the keywords that it flies. Keep in mind the flying bit is now different because you have to measure up. So that's new to 10th edition. Um, Keep in mind I'm looking at everything from the Awakened Dynasty detachment perspective because that's just what I think I'm going to play. I haven't found another detachment that has really hit me as fun or useful. The transdimensional I'm looking at are hyperdimensional. Anyways, movement 8, pretty okay flying. Tough 6, hallelujah. Um, 3 plus save. You're probably going to be taking your 4 plus invulnerable most of the time, anyways, so that's okay. 6 wounds, it seems to be pretty standard. The Necron Lord doesn't exist anymore. Now it's just Overlord, Locust Lord, Scorpec Lord, just the regular Lord, not a thing anymore. Leadership 6, OC2. My only real experience with 10th edition is Tyranids, so I'm going to be really happy to play Necrons and just get a different experience. Still trying to find my stride with my Tyranids. So it comes equipped with a Staff of Light. You know, I'll be honest with you. The 2 BS and the 2 WS, that's pretty nice. The 2 AP, I'm entering a new phase in my gaming career with 40k that I don't take anything unless it starts off at 2 AP. 2 or 3 AP, or higher. I mean, obviously 4 or 5s are pretty rare, but um, I know that I am going to swap out for a Lord's Blade. Devastating Wounds is something you see a lot that shows up in the Necron Codex. I like it a lot, as well as Lethal Hits, because basically all Gauss weapons cause lethal hits, which I really like. Goes back to a couple codexes ago where on a 6, a Gauss weapon can wound just about anything. I really like that. I think it pretty accurately represents the coolness of Necron technology. I know I'm going to put a Lord's Blade on mine and probably a Res Orb. um, yeah, he can only lead Locust Destroyers or Locust Heavy Destroyers. I'm going to put mine with the Heavy Destroyers, so he's going to be the melee combat part of it. If the if the squad of Heavy Destroyers, anti-vehicle is how I'm going to run mine. If the squad ever gets forced into melee combat, he's going to be there to bump the squad up a little bit, or if I ever need the utility of that because they do move 8 and they fly, that's why I want that blade. And the Res Orb. Res Orbs only work once per battle now, and I believe it's only one Res Orb per turn. Well, hey, it's got to be right here. Once per battle, while the bear. When doing so, you cannot resurrect more than one unit per turn. So only one unit can pop a Res Orb per turn. Keep that in mind. That's also new. um, I like the Nano Scarab Amulet. It's a 5 plus feel no pain, but I really think I'm going to run the Res Orb on it to protect my heavy destroyers from going down. So like I said, I'm going to throw the Lord's Blade on him and a Res Orb. He's a leader. Like I said, I'm going to put him with my heavy Locust Destroyers. He reanimates like just about everything in the Codex. I don't know if I've seen something that doesn't. Destroyer Cult. When this model is leading a unit, heavy destroyers, each time a model in that unit makes a ranged attack a successful unmodified hit roll of 5, scores a critical hit. So remember, that's basically like giving it lethal hits, but on 5 plus. Lethal hits is normally on 6 plus. So if you get a 5 to hit, you automatically wound. With heavy destroyers, I think that's pretty good. I think that's really good, as a matter of fact. Driven by hatred, each time this model makes an attack that targets an enemy unit that is below half strength, you can reroll the hit rolls. Sorry, that is below half strength. You can reroll the hit rolls, and you can reroll the wound roll. So below half strength. So remember, that's below half the number of models that come in the unit, or if it's a knight or a demon prince or Angron or something like that. If it's Angry Ron, then it's below half the number of starting wounds. That's important for Tyranid players that play Crusher Stampede and stuff like that. So just remember that that is worked out in the, what's it called? The interpretation of the rules document. So it makes mention to it in the actual rule book. It does kind of lay the groundwork for those rules, but it explains them very clearly in the interpretation of the rules document, which you can get on Games Workshop community website. It's eye-opening. I mean, it solves a lot of problems and answers a lot of questions. Like I said, I built mine with, I bought the torso fine cast upper body part, and then I used a heavy destroyer base, like the bottom part for it. I think it's really cool. It makes mine unique. I think Locust Destroyers are pretty cool. Seeing that I use my Locust Destroyer as a shepherd for my heavy destroyers, and thinking about Awakened Dynasty, I really do think that the Phasal Subjugator, it's an aura, gives a +1 to hit rolls. That would be helpful as an enhancement. I'm not going to put the Dermal Bond on there, because the Dermal Bond's either going to go on my Overlord. The Dermal Bond is basically like the Nanoscarab Casket, in the sense that it gives Feel No Pain 4+. Maybe the Netherrealm Casket, because it would give them stealth. So stealth is just going to make them a little bit harder to hit. You got to keep in mind that the Heavy Locust Destroyers, they have such an incredible range. It's either 70, I think it's 72. I don't think it's 36, but point is, you can hit stuff from the other side of the map. So with stealth making them even harder to hit, your opponent probably feels like they're better off aiming at something else. I can also see an argument for Veil of Darkness, to pop them out somewhere else, either to move them super far away where they can still get a good shot, or to move them in a flank or in the rear position to get a good shot to blow up a knight or a tank or I don't know, Riptide. Because the Locust Heavy Destroyer survived the Codex. It's AP 4 or 5. I think it's AP 4. And it's 6 damage. It's just flat 6 damage. And there's like nothing like that in the Tyranid Codex, which is why I'm so frustrated with Tyranids. And Necrons have stuff like that, like the Doomsday Arc and stuff like that, which I think the damage came down on the Doomsday Arc. That's at a flat 4. But so I'm definitely using my Locust Lord, and because it's Awakened Dynasty, he's leading a unit, so they'd get +1 to hit. So I guess I don't need the Phasal Subjugator on him. So I guess it kind of comes down to no enhancement, which I guess saves me points, or the Netherrealm Casket, which makes them harder to hit from a distance. If I had the extra points floating around, I guess I'd throw it in that, or Veil of Darkness, or nothing, and save the points. I think he's pretty cool. I'm definitely planning on having one. I'm gonna have units of warriors led by Plastex, and I'm having a Cryptek out there. I'm gonna have a lot of leaders. I like the Awakened Dynasty feel. Anyways, sound off in the comments. Let us know what your detachment of choice is and why. And I'm really enjoying doing this content for you guys, covering these brand new things that are super cool. We here at the Dragon's Lair understand that you can spend your time anywhere on the internet, so we want to say thank you for spending your time here with us at the Dragon's Lair.